Hey folks, everything new under the sun. This is Morning Prophecy for November 24th, 2017. And I want to take a look at a couple of articles here related to times and laws being changed and maybe something that gives us an understanding of what the Antichrist is going to do in the last days. Let's get into Daniel 7 here. So this is Daniel 7. This is from BibleHub.com. And speaking about basically the beast, the Antichrist. Thus he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon the earth, which shall be diverse from all kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth, and shall tread it down and break it into pieces. And the 10 horns out of this kingdom are the 10 kings that shall arise, and another shall arise after them, and he shall be diverse from the first. And he shall subdue 3 kings. And as we know from the study, the whole series about the ancient church fathers and what they believed about the end times, they believe that the Antichrist will come from the tribe of Dan, which is the Golan Heights, the separation between Syria and Israel. So many who thought the Antichrist would come from Syria could very well be true. And subdue 3 kings. So verse 25, and he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws. So he thinks to change times and laws, and I think ultimately he does change times and laws. And they shall be given into his hand until a time and times and the dividing of a time. So 3.5 years it speaks of there. But the judgment shall sit, and they shall take away his dominion and consume and to destroy it unto the end. And kingdom and dominion and greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and the dominion shall serve and obey him. Now I want to go to, speaking of the changing the times and the laws, take a look at a couple of articles here. Trump banishing Obama's memos regulations. So apparently Obama, I'm not saying Obama is the Antichrist, but it's an example of a leader who sidesteps the laws and changes the laws according to his own will, and doesn't go through the regular processes. Under the Obama administration, the White House, the Department of Justice, and the federal agencies repeatedly circumvented Congress by using guidance memos to create de facto regulations, changing laws without going through the review process. This is what the Obama administration was doing. And this is an indication of, or maybe an example of, how the Antichrist could skirt laws by these guidance. Is this illegal? Sounds to me like it would be illegal. Guidance typically from the department means that there is some question about how to do this because of the way it was ambiguously written. So a federal agency would provide guidance, but the Obama administration actually greatly overstepped these limits in clarifying things to, in essence, create new law, Matthews says. And so good on Trump for trying to get rid of this stuff. He's trying to drain the swamp. He's not perfect, and maybe he's doing other things to circumvent the law. I don't know, but this is an example of how Obama did that. Speaking of laws and changing laws, here's a couple of things which are disturbing about laws that are changing. University student disciplined for transphobic thought crime. What? Ontario grad student investigated for not disagreeing with transgender critic. So she was apparently listening to a transgender critic, and she didn't disagree. So that meant she agreed, I guess. They assumed she then completely agreed, and so they disciplined her for that. An Ontario grad student is being investigated by her university for transphobic thought crimes. This sounds to me like Minority Report. Isn't that the whole idea that they can accuse you of a crime before it occurs? After she didn't vocally disagree with a video clip of a transgender critic. Wilfrid Laurier. This is where my sister actually went to university. Wilfrid Laurier student Lindsay Shepard showed a short video that featured a gender ideology critic, but was disciplined by the administration after she failed to criticize the comments made in the clip. This is incredible. Where has speech gone? Out the window. There's no free speech. These universities are all based on the liberal ideology, the religion of leftism, basically. Shepard then published a secret recording of the faculty berating her for not denouncing the statements made in the video by a well-known University of Toronto professor, Jordan Peterson, when she showed the clip while serving as a teaching assistant. You can't tell the truth anymore about these things. These universities, they don't want to hear it. They want to indoctrinate their students a certain way, according to the leftist ideology and religion that they now push. And so you can't have different ideas, and these aren't even different ideas. These are original ideas that have been there for hundreds of years in our culture. And because ideas have changed in the last 5-10 years, now you can't speak of what happened, what was the idea in the hundreds of years in our history. Teachers at her university demanded she take a more liberal approach to transgenderism and insisted that she have facilitated a debate that encourages others to disagree with any anti-transgender statements. That is incredible. And speaking of changing laws and times, the universities are doing all they can to change the laws and the times. Here's another insane one. Teachers warned, and what is this? Well, this is from Breitbart. Teachers warned not to say boys or girls because it reminds the pupils of their gender. And so we don't want to mention here where in the Bible it says that God made them male and female, because that would be God. That would be the Bible reminding us of our gender, and that's bad. That's bad. Teachers should avoid calling female pupils girls or ladies because it means that they are constantly reminded of their gender, a former governmental mental health czar has said. Natasha Devon, who was appointed MBE in 2015 for services to young people, said the move would help transgender children as well as encourage female and male students. Well, female and male, isn't that discriminatory? Isn't that constantly reminding people of their gender? Maybe they shouldn't say that in this article. As well as encourage female and male students to defy traditional notions of gender, which affect well-being. She told Girls Association annual conference in Manchester that she would never walk into an all-girls room, all-girls school, and say girls or ladies because it's patronizing. Yes, calling someone by their scientifically confirmed gender, calling them using a name that identifies them as such, is apparently bad. So lefty liberals are apparently anti-science because this is simply using empirical science to confirm that a person is male or female and then calling them by the associated pronoun. Teachers should address youngsters as pupils, students, or even just people, she insisted, according to the Telegraph. I don't think it's useful to be constantly reminded of your gender all the time and all the stereotypes that go with it. I mean, this is an insanity, and you can see how the Antichrist will change times and seasons with things like this, even to the point of skirting the law, like in the Obama administration. So this is not new. These things are changing. They will implement laws next to enforce gender neutrality in all these things. And how many Christians are going to lose their jobs because of this? And persecution is coming. We know this. And so when will they implement enough laws that enough Christians are going to start losing their jobs left, right, and center? And this is going to be the norm. I think it's incredible, and you should be aware of it. You should share it around. And ensure that people understand that this is happening and that they aren't just normalized to the fact that this is happening. I think right now they should be preaching this stuff from the pulpit to ensure that citizens know and say something about it, that Christians should stand up. Stefan Molyneux, the last couple of videos, has basically said that Christians need to be less nice to people and stand up more for what they believe in. And I pretty much agree. I think Christians need to be much more vocal. Whether or not we win in this world, we know we won't. We know the Antichrist will have some sort of satisfaction by killing a lot of Christians. Ultimately, God's going to take care of them. But Christians in this world aren't going to usher in the kingdom of God. We will be persecuted, and most of us to death if we aren't raptured out first. And so we won't win in this world, but we win in the next, in the millennial reign of Christ, where we get to rule and reign with Christ. That is the bonus prize, as Kent Holman likes to say. So I'll leave there, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video.